give me a raise of hands if you think that between a mentor and a protege, there are only two entities. Give me a raise of hands. Between a mentor and a protege, like a mentor and a mentee, there are only two entities. Raise of hands. Everyone who's raised their hands, congratulations, you are wrong. Because I believe that between a protege and a mentor, there are three entities. The mentor, the protege, and the expectations. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my distinguished guests. I expect you've had a great day. Now, let us go back a little and make sure everyone in the room understands the definitions of the words that I've used. Starting off with mentor. A mentor is someone who has a lot of experience and wisdom and is willing to share all of that with someone who approaches them. A protege is someone who needs the wisdom and experience from a mentor figure, and they're willing to reach out to someone and get that experience. And expectations can be best described by what my Otto uncle used to say. He used to say, oft expectations fail, but more oft they fail where they promise the most. Yes, my Otto uncle's name was William Shakespeare. Now, whether William Shakespeare actually said this or not, I truly believe in it. And I have all the reasons to do so because expectations have been the third wheel in all of my mentor-protege experiences. For instance, I found a mentor in my 8th grade who was a physicist. But I was interested in science fiction. Every time the movies would use the words black hole, space-time continuum, and other stuff, I would get intrigued. So one day I went up to him, looked him in the eye and said, "Sir, what if I fall into the black hole with full speed force? Will my space-time continuum stay intact?" He looked at me in the eye and explained to me the theory of relativity, Schwarzschild's radius, and the entire concept of 4 dimensions, without the use of mathematics. In the next 4 years, we spent time analyzing and understanding the world in the way of science. And at the end of these 4 years, I had come to appreciate his understanding of the world, which in turn led to my understanding of the world. One random afternoon, however, I called him up and I said, "Sir, I'm going to pursue engineering," and all he said was, "Oh." And there were 3 seconds of silence. And for the first time in my life, I experienced time dilation without a black hole near me. Because those were the longest 3 seconds of my life. Because that is when I realized that the third wheel of expectations had struck. Because I never told him my intention of spending that time with him. That led him to have the expectations that I am going to follow in his footsteps and pursue pure sciences as a career. That is when I realized what happens when you don't specify your goals. Another instance where I discovered the aspect of expectations in mentorship is 1 month into my Toastmasters journey. Very early on, I got a call from a mentor figure who said, "Yo, you know the election forms are out. Why don't you apply for the position of Sergeant at Arms? We saw you host Vidyut in your 2nd semester in front of 4,000 people. We know you're up for it." And I replied, "Well, that's not my intention of joining Toastmasters. I'm more inclined towards storytelling and the art of speaking to a large audience." That conversation went on and it ended with me not applying for the position of Sergeant at Arms. However, on the day of the elections, when the election chair said, "Is there anyone who would like to nominate someone else for the position of Sergeant at Arms?" 12 of my seniors raised their hand. And the third wheel had struck again. Because under the pressure of their expectations, I said yes, and I won the election. Ironically, even though my goal was to give speeches, I gave my first speech 10 months after I joined Toastmasters. And my second speech 17 months after I joined Toastmasters. Now that is a very bad record. Now with that being said, I understood something else about expectations. They really pressurize you to do things you might not want to do. Another instance of mentorship, which I learned through expectations as well, is with another mentor figure who was extremely helpful to me right from the first day in Toastmasters. They've left no stone unturned in helping me out understand how this club works, how public speaking works, and how the role works. But because of some circumstances which are not relevant today, the dynamic between me and my mentor figure changed, which led to the stoppage of me receiving the support and help which I had become very much reliant on. This shattered my expectations and also my confidence. And I still feel I haven't properly recovered from it yet, because my knees are shaking like anything as I speak in front of you right now. What I learned from all of these things is that expectations are that third wheel that need to be taken out of a mentor and a protege relationship. Which is why, for all the proteges or the future proteges sitting in this room, manage your expectations. Don't rely completely on your mentor, so that in case that reliance breaks, your confidence doesn't. Don't let your goals get subverted by your mentor's expectations, because you are at the end of the day responsible for your goals. And for all the mentors in the room here today, or the future mentors, you are not the coach. Maybe it's not your responsibility to set the timeline of your protege. Let them explore, because your expectations have weight. And at the same time, be as non-judgmental as possible, because that will go a very long way in your protege growing. That is what I have learned in my Toastmasters journey as a protege, and all of these learnings, to my best ability, will be applied as I now step into my role as a mentor in this club. With that being said, I hope all of you have a great meeting ahead. What would you say, Toastmaster of the Day?